I think it was called the Nuclear Holocaust. There was a nuclear holocaust, and then it was set in. It was something stupid. It was like new, not any more fucked up than normal Cleveland or something like that. Was like how it was called on like the sign that you saw. But yeah, it was set in Cleveland, probably because that's where everybody involved in this lived. Um, and it was like the first story was like this like gladiator arena story, which made no fucking sense, and ended with the main character of that story taking like the mayor of the town on his rocket chair, and they shot themselves up into the like atmosphere, and then she turned the chair around and like power slammed him into the ground, and he died. And it was so fucking dumb. Um, and then the second story was like this like film noir figure out like what's happening to all these missing people story. And then the third story was like this fucking stoner buddy movie like
Buddy.
comedy scene. And it was so, and like, oh, that whole like the whole third act was like I have no idea what the fuck is going on right now, because the entire point of it was they were trying to get space weed because they were low on space weed. And they like have to disguise themselves as like army troopers to get into the army base. They can steal space weed from the army. And just about my favorite part of the entire movie happens in the third act, because two of the army guys look at each other like right in the beginning of it when the two main characters of this act like walk into the army base. They like sneak in like army gear, and the two guys at the gate look at each other after they've gone in, and the one guy goes to the other guy. He's like, we both know that those guys were clearly not actually army men. And the other guy's like, yeah, but I'm kind of bored and I want to see how this plays out. I'm like, I love this movie. It's awful and it's horrible and it's 2.5 hours long, and I'm in hell. But this
Two and a
one
half?
moment, it's 2.5 hours long.
Jesus Christ.
It was awful.
This
Um,
this movie was like half as long. It
I
was a
forget what
minute
the fourth
15.
act was. There was a fourth act that I don't remember, and then the fifth act was like,
Oh, you mean storylines? Acts are different things.
yes, I'm sorry, the fifth storyline. I think of them as I don't know why I think of them as acts all the time. But the fifth storyline was it was like two lesbian like wild ladies that got conscripted to the army so they could fight the darkness that was living in the ground because reasons.
The
It was
darkness.
really stretching my patience there at the end, and all that was happening was like it was like we got to the end and it was just an excuse for there to be a lesbian sex scene, and I'm like, oh, my interest is not renewed. This is not rejuvenating me at all.
Okay. Yeah, the movie I watched by the way was called the FP because FP stands for Fraser Park, and that's where most
Okay.
of the movie takes place.
Oh,
But yeah, it was okay. Just hour and 15 minutes long. It had a first act, second act, and a third act. If you watched Karate Kid, you watched this movie. Yeah, that's all I can really say. Um, I was really hoping they were going to stretch the duck thing a little bit more, because there's a lot of scenes where KCDC, the guy that I said clip about him, he's just
uh-huh.
wearing like duck shirts the entire time, and
Solid.
I wish they played it out a little bit more, but they didn't, unfortunately. But yeah,
Was that the only scene with the ducks, or were there like a handful of others?
so that's the only scene where he's like really mad about the ducks, and then a couple other scenes where he just has a duck shirt, like it's just three ducks.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's about it. Oh, there's another scene where they call back and they're like, "What about the ducks, Jatro? You gotta remember the ducks." Oh, I
Okay.
like the names. The names were pretty fun. There's like Sugar Nigga. There was LWE. Yeah,
LWE.
KCDC. Jatro and his brother Betro. Um, let's see who else was there. I think that was it. That was like the only character I remember. There was a female character, the main love interest,
Uh,
absolutely fucking useless. I was really hoping I so wanted them to just point out the fact that she was just such a fucking cliche. Like I just wanted him at the end to say, "No, get out of here. You're an idiot. I hate you. You fucked everything up."
the movie I was talking about was called Future World: City of Mass Destruction.
Oh my, that sounds like an awful movie.
It was an awful movie. Also, the entire like film aesthetic was like if you have ever seen a deep fried meme, that
Oh
was exactly
god.
what it looked like. The entire movie.
So in my mind, I was saying something like Sin City, but like more really bizarre colors.
Yeah, that's pretty much yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I
Anyways,
want let's see if I can find a screenshot.
okay.
So,
While you're looking for that, the other movie I watched was much better. I absolutely fucking loved it. One of my favorite horror movies that I've seen in recent memory. It was The Witch, but instead of a W, it's two V's, so it's The VVitch.
the VVitch.
Yep, The Witch. Fucking awesome movie. It is about a Puritan family in the 1600s who gets exiled from the village and have to live out in the wilderness. And during this time, there was hysteria about witches.
Hmm.
Turns out there's actually a witch, and this is a spoiler because one, it's in the fucking trailer. Two, it happens in the first 5 minutes of the movie. Like
Okay.
there's an actual witch who I guess whatever, fuck whatever. No one watches this, so I'm gonna spoil it. Who kidnaps one of the newborns of the family, turns
Okay.
it into like a paste, and like rubs it all over her body so she can fly.
Oh my goodness.
It was unsettling. Holy crap!
That is incredibly unsettling.
But it's less about the actual witch because like she only really appears like twice. It's more about how the family like starts to like to get at each other because of all the shit that's like going on with them. Like their crops are failing. They're scared about surviving the winter. Their daughter's like almost becoming a woman, so they're thinking of selling her away, and she gets like paranoid about that. Her younger brother like kind of has this weird thing for her because she's like,
Ew.
yeah, the only boob she sees or he sees is hers.
Okay.
Um,
That's an acceptable
fucking,
mental state to be in.
there's like these two little twins who like start, I guess, start like having like this kind of friendly kind of thing with one of their black goats, which turns out, spoiler alert, it's Satan.
Of course it is, because it's
Yep,
Black Goat.
yep. Um, who's really like the main antagonist of the film. Basically, he's the main one who's riding the cops and pitting them against each other.
Of course.
Yeah, fantastic movie. It's super eerie. It's a little slow. Some more horror movies are just kind of they like to take their time, and this one definitely does. So some people might get bored of it, but I absolutely loved it. They used their accents are fantastic. I thought that was really cool. They used a lot of older English. And the two little twins, they're like 4 and 5, I think, 5ish.
Okay.
They were pretty good actors. Like,
Huh.
yeah, they did their accents. They were pretty fucking good.
All right.
Yeah, all around, great fucking movie. I loved it.
All right. There you go.
Yeah,
Brandon recommends a horror movie,
yeah
The
the
Vivitch.
Village.
This is the
Oh
film
my
aesthetic
god.
of, yeah, future world city of mass destruction with our two fucking idiot stoners with their smoke weed hookah bong.
Oh my
Uh,
god. What the fuck?
yeah, it was awful.
Okay, so what I'm seeing here is they had a table and a sofa, and they got a green sheet, put it behind them, and then just CG'd everything in.
Yes. That's like the entire movie is like that.
Cool.
The entire movie is like, we have these three props and I want it to look like this. And they're like, well, the green screen, we still have that green screen for another hour.
Well, technically, we still have that green bedsheet I bought at fucking Costco.
Yeah, more accurate.
I mean, if it works, it works,
I mean, they have the entire scene where they go down into this guy's like fucking vampire sex dungeon basement thing, and it's like it is shot in approximately a half lit light bulb worth of light for the entire like second fucking storyline.
So it wasn't as good as Vladimir's dungeon from What We Do in the Shadows.
No.
Oh, that dungeon. My dream is to own one of those.
You want to own one of those
Oh,
those
hell
dungeons?
no.
Good.
This is my dungeon.
This is my dungeon.
I still can't get that image of the foofier vampire going into his coffin with the picture of his beloved, and the coffin door just starts like banging
Dun,
around.
dun, 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 dun.
Uh,
Uh,
what was
that like whole thing was so weird, especially the payoff when she's like 90.
And then she stays 90 because he turns her into a
Yeah.
vampire.
People are making fun of me for going after a much younger woman,
Woman.
but oh well.
They can call me Bet Snatcher or
A
Cradle
cradle
Robber.
robber.
Yeah. So Nick, what would you like to talk about first? Satsuki no Tenchi, Grand Blue, or Banana Fish, aka Rambo?
Kind of. Let's talk about Grand Blue.
Okay, I'm trying to remember what happened in Grand Blue.
So the first arc was the King's game.
Yes, and
The second one was Let's Go to the Store.
yes, we have accurately described Grand Blue episode 10 or 9.
9.
Uh, there's not much else to say about it. They play the King's game, they go to the store, and they buy shit. Boom.
Yeah.
Standout moments. They didn't let us see bigger sister's boobs.
Right?
Yeah, like that's all I fucking came to this fucking show for. And they were like, "No, you can't do that. Just take off your fucking sock." Fuck
Take
you,
off one
Keiki.
sock.
Fuck Keiki. I hate her. It's all her fault.
Right?
Also, actually, another thing that I just remembered. What's this whole thing about indirect kisses? It's fucking pissing me off. I always see it in anime, and it's so
I don't know.
stupid.
I don't know, dude.
understand it.
It's because it's not an America thing.
I know, but it's just such a weird thing.
I don't know. It's like it is absolutely like a fucking Japan thing. I don't know what it is with Japan, but it is absolutely a Japan thing.
Fucking germaphobes, dude.
I don't even think it's germaphobes.
Yeah,
I think
it's
they
just
just
a
are like
thing.
I don't know. I guess they have like weird opinions on, you know, interacting with other people's like
And
yeah,
I was gonna say
bodies.
booze, but water.
What used to be part of their body, I guess. Although saying that makes it sound weirder than it actually is.
It's still warm.
Oh,
Oh
God.
god.
Fuck Krieger.
And then they go to the store. Chisa looks at a camera and she buys it.
Yes.
Oh,
So that very much like surprised me because like the start of that was when they were like, oh yeah, you know, this is like dive computers and they're so expensive. Right after they talked about the fact that they were gonna go do a job, like go for the fuck whatever the hell it is, the part-time job at
at the
the
fucking
concert.
or some public event.
Yeah,
Uh,
some public event. They're gonna do crowd control essentially.
yeah.
And then they talk about like how expensive dive computers are, and I was like, Iori's gonna buy Chisa a dive computer at the end of this. Like he's gonna go to the job and use all the money to buy Chisa a dive computer.
Nope.
And I was like surprised when we got to the end of it. And they're like, and then we went to Okinawa, nothing happened.
Well, no. What happens is she does buy the camera, and they do actually have to go to the crowd control. Well, the two guys have to do crowd control. The
Yeah,
girls have to be put into skimpy outfits and parade around to ask people to look at them.
to look at whatever they happen to have on paper, but mostly to look at them.
Yeah, and the older sister is totally in it. I don't know why she just didn't, use the camera that she had, because, that thing's probably already waterproof.
Yeah, I don't know why the oh no, that wasn't the older sister. Oh, the older sister was there taking pictures.
Yeah,
It
with the
was
fucking big-ass photo lens.
fucking Azusa who was all about being in fucking next to no clothes.
Yep. Oh, another strange moment in this, in the first half at least, because this show has absolutely no fucking budget. Brown dude, I don't know his name, Buzzcut guy.
Okay,
Like when
Buzzcut senpai.
yeah, Buzzcut when he's like crowding over them, he has no neck, and he has no neck, but his like neck muscles are like fucking massive. It was just such a weird shot because he just fills up the entire screen. He was like the definition of of an absolute unit.
Yeah, like it feels like any time that he's like when they get drunk and he gets like super muscly, he turns into like fucking Mr. Universe level musculature.
Yeah,
Like that's like that like neck muscle, whatever that muscle. I want to say it's your traps, but I'm probably wrong about that. But like when it's like rounded up like that, I always think of that as like the Mr. Universe like Mr. Universe competition because they all have that look.
yeah.
And like he doesn't usually look like that, so it was weird when he gets like super just jacked out of nowhere.
It's just fucking bizarre. But anyways, I guess just move on because there's not much else to talk about the show.
Um,
Unless
the
you want them.
fucking Scum Squad continues to be a piece of shit.
Oh yes, yes, yes. I
Because they were
remember Scum
like,
Squad.
organize another fucking meet and greet for
These fucking
us.
thirsty motherfuckers just don't want to do any of the work themselves.
Except for they keep sabotaging each other when one of them gets anything going for them. It's like they're like mentally handicapped when it comes to this shit. We want to
uh,
meet girls, but at the same time, nobody else is allowed to have a girlfriend.
so that yeah, the thing is that they all have to get a girlfriend at the same time. Therefore, they're all happy, but they're all pieces of shit. So it's never gonna fucking happen.
Right. It's also illogical because it wouldn't happen in real life anyways.
This is animated. Anything can happen.
It's not like in fucking real life where you and your group of friends and you're like, oh, we all happen to just get a date on the exact same time. Shit never works out like that. This group is destined to fucking be alone forever.
Well, I mean, not that one blonde dude. He actually got a girl. I mean, his friends fucked it up for him, but you know.
Yeah, forever. And then he fucks up for himself for
Yeah,
double ever.
yeah. Uh, so now we're gonna go to Okinawa and they're gonna do stuff.
Yeah. Probably drink from what we've seen,
Yes.
both from the show and from the
Just
fucking
yeah, the
upperclassmen's
teaser from I
magazine.
think last episode or 2 episodes ago.
Yeah, 1 or 2 episodes ago.
Yeah. Well, moving on. That was Grand Blue. It's still kind of I still chuckle at it. I
It's
wish
still
it
got some solid
yeah,
jokes.
I wish it was better than it was, but what you gonna do when you have a couple of pennies,
Yeah.
a couple of pennies in the bank?
They got the spare change from some other anime's budget and they were like, let's do Grand Blue. Why not?
Ugh, damn it.
We have some money left over in the bank from insert popular anime here.
Actually, who is doing Grand Blue? I want to look this up.
I wonder if that's like they got not only do they have like pennies for budget, but they're like, since we're going to spend we're going to spend exactly $1 on the entirety of this. Let's just get all the interns to come in and do all of the animation work too.
I mean, if they were interns, they would be getting paid. Is a thing because
Yeah, I
animators
mean
don't get paid anyway.
that's why they can afford to spend a single dollar on the entirety of it.
How would you feel about being paid $1? Okay,
You're
awesome.
doing this for experience.
Okay, so this is from a relatively newer studio. It looks like called Zero G. Their past works include Battery, which is a baseball show, has a 52% on any list.
Okay,
Uh, Piace, Watashi no Italian. It's a short about an Italian girl, I guess.
I guess.
52%, so not that much better.
Yeah,
Tsugumomo.
never heard
Uh,
of it.
never heard of it either. Looks crappy. Moving on.
Okay,
Wow, okay, it's only been 50%. So far, Grand
oh,
Blue has been their best show.
okay.
So
And I
yeah,
feel like that's more on the back of Grand Blue's writing rather than their presentation of it.
yeah, definitely. Oh
Um,
well.
yeah, it is what it is.
Hopefully they are more experienced and they do some better shit later on.
Speaking of new studios, there was a new game studio founded recently called 2Kyo Studios, spelled Too space Kyo. Obviously, a joke on Tokyo. And it's probably founded by Yoko Taro, who did Nier Automata. So I am excited to see what's going to come out of this.
Ooh, are you ready for the shitty PC port again?
Yeah, I'm absolutely ready for a really fucking garbage and not at all fucking updated PC port for whatever game will come out of this studio.
Awesome. All I care about is the animated boobs, so I'll buy it regardless.
And the ass.
That
2B
too.
had a fucking ass to rival all asses ever.
Hashtag to booty.
Thick life.
Uh,
Also, that game supported panty shots. I think it also, if I remember correctly, had a stat in the menu for the amount of time you spent looking up her skirt.
yes. Because like they knew people were going to do it, so like, let's just track it.
Yeah, well, because they put in the ability to do it, and then they were like, now that we put in the ability to do it, let's put in the ability to measure how much you do it.
Fucking awesome.
I mean,
Anyways,
they put in the ability to do everything in that game. You can remove your OS chip, and it instantly kills your character and ends the game.
yeah.
It's one of the endings. It's great.
I guess
There's
you
an
need it,
ending
don't
for
you?
fucking everything. What?
Don't you need the that ending? Like you need a couple of endings, right?
No, that's not one of the necessary ones.
No.
none of them are technically necessary because to get the main endings, I think are A through F, and to get each one, you have to beat the game and get the previous one. But essentially, it's just like you automatically like when you beat the game the first time, you get A, and then when you beat it again, you get B, and then when you beat it again, you get C, and yada 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 through all of the like game, like full game ends. Um, and then after F, there's like a whole list of like optional endings for if you choose to do certain things at certain points, you can end the game early.
Okay.
So it's like there's one for like essentially lose in the tutorial in the not the tutorial section, but like the introductory section where you're first flying in this airplane. If you just get killed in that, there's an ending for that. Um, there's like an ending for eating a fish at one point because the oil in the fish kills your circuits.
Yeah. Uh,
So they thought of a whole bunch of like weird fucking non sequitur like rando endings that just kill the game early, but actually have like text for like how the game ends at that point. So it's kind of entertaining. But yeah, one of them is you just remove your OS chip, and the game's like you understand that this will literally kill you and end of the game, right? And you have to be like, yes, I understand. Do it anyways, and then the game ends because it's like we told you, dude. Your character is useless.
Alrighty. Uh, so moving on. Guess let's talk about Sasuke no Tenchi.
All right.
In this episode, we start Rachel Gardner's trial, where she must testify in front of priest dude, who I can only
Yep.
assume is first name priest.
Second name.
No, his first name is I don't know his first name. His last name pretty sure is priest.
Oh, okay. I'm
Actually,
willing to believe that.
do we know his name?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Well, Mr. Priestman says it says that Rachel's a piece of shit and she has to testify. So then all the other three come back. I don't know
Well,
exactly. I
he
don't know.
doesn't say that she's a piece of shit. She says that he says that she's a witch,
Oh, yeah.
which is what they're
No,
testifying.
it's actually she's a VVitch, sir.
A VVitch, yeah, she's a VVitch. So she's on a VVitch trial.
Yes. So along come the other three motherfuckers to testify against her or for her a little bit and then against her.
Yeah,
Well, except for Smiley Girl, who I was really hoping we'd done her with her, but you know she comes back, laughs again, and then says she's an awful person and she should be burned. No,
water torture
water tortured. Yes, the burning was the last one.
was father.
Yeah. Oh, I guess that's his name, Father.
Well, they call him father because he's a priest.
I don't know how I didn't pick up on that.
Probably because you're not Christian.
Well, I mean, pretty sure in the subtitles I read Father and then just completely blanked it out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if they actually called him Father, I probably missed it. Anyways, yes, and then Mason's is the spikes. I don't think. Oh, and then fucking Danny's is like the weird trippy 2001 Space Odyssey shit.
Yeah, Danny was like, "I want your soul.
You know,
Give me your soul,
I'm gonna
please."
change the colors.
Yeah.
That's gonna be your punishment. Your hair's blue now.
Yeah.
Each of them testifies. What's her face?
What's her face? Which one?
Whatever prison lady
Okay, prison lady.
says that she's crazy. I believe. I don't quite remember what her argument was.
Um, it was basically like, if I can remember
Criminal.
correctly, it was like yeah, Rachel's a criminal of all criminals because she prevents the prison lady from being a judge, which is what she was supposed to be. So like she
Oh,
saw
yeah,
herself as a judge, and she's like, "You are not only evading punishment, but you killed judge, and so you are the criminal of all criminals, escaping justice."
Yes, and that's why she gets mad and starts yelling again.
Yes. Well, first she just shows up when we first see her because we first show up with Rachel in the electrocution chair, and the fucking prison lady just comes in and screams in your face and then zaps her.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, well, Brandon is not going to be thrilled about this.
I'm done. Joke about voice here,
Joke about voice
and
here.
or argument, or whinging about voice as well. But not only does that happen, but she goes through, or she actually only goes back to Mason's level as well, where she gets kind of stuck in the coffin for a little bit, and then she stabs it.
Yeah.
She doesn't go back to Danny's floor or to Zach's floor.
Yes. We only see Mason and Prison Lady's floor.
After that, then they go back in. Oh, Warden, that's her fucking name. Um, then she goes to the courtroom, or whatever it is in this case. Kangaroo court room.
Sure. It's a good enough
We don't
description.
know, because she may be, you know, a fucking sociopath, which is probably true. Uh, she might be a witch. Who knows? We don't know yet.
I'm willing to bet she isn't. But
All right.
regardless, yeah, then Mason Foster testifies and he's like, I loved her, but she didn't do any of the things I wanted, and therefore she's a witch. And she's selfish and a witch.
Yeah, she didn't do anything I wanted. Therefore, she's selfish. What a piece of
Yeah.
shit, isn't she? Not doing what I want.
So that was
Okay.
some little kid logic for you right there.
Yep. I'm pretty sure they're the same age.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they're both also like not 18. I'm pretty sure they're
Pretty
both
sure
like 15.
15, yeah, 15ish. I wouldn't call that little kid. I feel like you can at least construct a decent argument about something.
I think at 15 you can also still throw a temper tantrum.
I agree. Yes.
So I think Mason has himself a temper tantrum in the court and is like,
Well, honestly, the one person that does have a temper tantrum is fucking Danny. He has a massive tantrum where he's just fucking.
he's a breakdown. He doesn't have a temper tantrum. He just has a breakdown.
At that point, I kind of just tuned out when the whole thing got trippy. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna come back when he stopped. You know, when his character stops making noise, I will come back to the scene.
When Danny walks away, I will allow this to continue to be something I'm understanding.
Yeah. So after that stopped, I came back, and then the father was like, "Yeah, he had a fucking meltdown." I'm like, "Okay, that's good enough for me. I don't care what the meltdown was about, but it was there." And since they all said that she was a witch, they decided that she should be burned at the stake.
Yes.
Or not really at the stake, more like she's hanging off of
Cross.
is she hanging on the cross? Oh,
Yes.
oh, sorry, I'm confusing it with the spikes where she's kind of just tied up.
Oh yeah, she was tied up above the spikes. She was held aloft in the water by magic. But yes, at the very end, she is
More held
bound
above
to the cross.
the water. It was, you know, she was buoyant. She was floating.
She was doing some serious floating in that water.
Well, the
She was
water
up
was
like
also like, you know,
8 feet
going
off the ground.
upwards, so I think that had something to do with it.
Yeah, she was like 8 feet off the ground in that water, though.
I mean, that was some strong water. That water pressure, though.
Yeah,
But yeah, now she's about to be burned at the stake. I think Zach's gonna come in and be like, "No, I testify for her. She's not a witch," and they're all gonna be like, "We don't care about you anymore. You're not part of the crew.
you're not one of us, nerd.
You
I was
left
really
us."
hoping with Danny being like, I'm the only one who can testify about her true self. I was really hoping we were gonna get some like expose into her backstory.
Exposition.
Instead, he just has like a meltdown about her soul and
Yeah.
doesn't contribute anything to understanding her character at all. And I was kind of upset about that.
I mean, as part of the meltdown, he could have at least, you know, hinted at stuff, but instead he's just like, me. I have a thing about eyes.
Your eyes are awesome, and therefore you're a witch.
Yeah, do
For
you
some
want to hear
reason.
about this for the fifth fucking time in this episode?
Yeah.
I
So
don't
that was
like
annoying.
Danny.
I was really hoping that at some point he was going to be like, and then your parents committed double suicide because you convinced them to do it with mind tricks or something like that, and like actually prove that like she was a sociopath who convinced her parents to commit suicide or something like that, which would have been interesting. But instead, it was just like, your eyes are awesome. Love me. Let me have them, please. I sentence you to giving me your eyeballs.
Fucking, I hate Danny so much.
Danny's a piece of shit. He's also not a great character.
I was hoping I was wrong about him being alive, honestly. Well, we know for sure he's alive. I don't know about Mason or
They're
Warren.
dead. They cannot be alive. I refuse to believe they're alive.
Okay, so yes, in this case, in this little thing, I think she's still tripping, but they just got rid of the proof effect to kind of not confuse the audience, but you know, make it more of a mystery as to whether or not they're actually alive. I think they are. I don't think they're actually dead, but in this case, the two that the people who were talking with Rachel this episode, they weren't actually the real, like the quote unquote real characters, but I think they're still alive.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want them to be alive because I don't want them to be alive.
I mean, I don't want them to be alive either, but that's my guess. We still don't know what's on B1. The poster has no mention of who might be on B1. I still think it's either Rachel or her parents. So who knows?
Yeah, I'm thinking that too.
Moving on to Banana Fish.
Hmm.
Banana Fish 2. Ash goes
Banana.
crazy.
I don't know if it deserves a banana fish too.
Alright, fine. Banana Fish. Uh, don't Banana Fish harder because you don't want to take that shit. It'll fuck with you. In this episode, Ash is able to get out of his prison hold after YL gives him the key to the his handcuffs,
Yep.
and YL has his own idea of what he wants to do. He's not really helping Ash. Well, he's helping Ash, but it's more of a I don't like these guys either, so deal with them for me. At some point, they will become in conflict very soon, given what
Yeah.
just happened this last.
It's more like YL wants something to be taken care of, and Ash is convenient for having it being taken care of.
Yes.
YL doesn't really care about Ash. He's just like, I don't want to be here to deal with this. You can deal with it for
Yeah.
me, and I know that you will.
Here's the key. Go ahead and don't let AG get molested.
Yeah. Don't let him get turned into what you used to be.
Yeah. So
Male prostitute.
more also child quote unquote actor.
Yeah. Well, I mean, AG can't be a child actor. He's like 19.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. That's a good point.
At this point, he's just a male prostitute.
And also forced sex actor.
Yeah.
So they find an armory and they get a couple of scars, I believe. I'm not good with guns, but I'm pretty sure they're scars.
They were more than likely scars, yes.
They also find a mine, or not a mine, a claymore. Some sort of
Uh,
explosive.
I wasn't paying attention at that
Regardless,
point.
it's an explosive. They throw it into the armory so that they blow up all the weapons. After they get their own, they also kit themselves out. Like, they are fucking kitted out.
Yeah.
Fucking, they were smart about not taking just one magazine, but multiple.
Yes. And they took
took
sidearms. They
the
took
golden
40
guns.
grenade launchers.
Yeah.
They had the whole 9 yards for sieging a compound.
Exactly. So, oh my god, what's his name? Christian? Who's the ex-Iraq guy?
The ex-Iraq guy, Max.
Max and eBay become one group and they, escape on their own. So that's going to come into play later now that they're separated. Ash,
Definitely.
Yeah. Ash goes up to help AG out, but he goes alone. All along the way, they just beat the shit out of a couple people. Well, not beat the shit out of, sorry. They just kill them. They get shot in the face, is what
Yes.
happens. One of them gets exploded on with a grenade. Another one gets shot in the dick. Do they get shot in the dick? No, he gets shot in the
They
head.
get shot everywhere.
Well, yes. At some point, probably someone got shot in the dick, but I don't know
Yeah.
if he was aiming there. Rapist, Chinese rapist.
Yes.
Sorry, hold on. We have to be more specific. Chinese rapist who raped Max's wife gets shot in the head.
Yeah.
And then we finally get to the point where he finds AG. He gets him out. And along this moment where they're, fighting, the other Chinese guys, the other Chinese gang, I don't know his name. Oh, Xing. Xing, I think. Xing. And Ash's old group decide to attack the compound at this moment because, there's already chaos going on. Perfect time to go attack. Xing is a motherfucking ninja. He takes some fucking names. I love him.
Dude, yeah, his fucking weapon of choice was gangsta.
Kunai with chain.
He
It's
had
back.
kunai with chain. It was gangsta.
He fucking strangles a motherfucker and then he just kicks some ass. It was great.
He was balling out.
It was absolutely fucking awesome. They also attack the compound at this moment. After and then we kind of leave them for a little bit and we go back to Ash. Would you like to pick up at this moment? With Ash and AG trying to escape the compound?
Sure. So essentially Ash and AG, they roughly, I would say, tag team through the halls for a little bit. Where it's more just Ash doing all of the shooting and AG doing all of the watching of the back.
Yeah. I did like that AG asked for a gun.
He is doing something proactive.
Yeah, he was like, yo, give me a gun. And then Ash is like, no. And I hated Ash for that moment. I was like, damn, just give him the fucking gun.
I mean, he did miss a bottle from about 5 feet away in 2 or 3 episodes back.
This is very
I,
true.
I would
And
not trust him with the
he
handgun at
would have
that point.
absolutely died had he not actually had his sidearm when there was someone in the back. Because there's that scene where someone just comes from behind and Ash pulls out the sidearm and just shoots him in the fucking face.
Oh yeah,
That
they do like the spin and Ash whips out the sidearm.
Yeah, that wouldn't have happened if AG had the fucking gun. AG would have
Oh no,
screamed and would have
closed his
hesitated.
eyes and fired the pistol wildly and missed all of the
He
shots.
would
Yeah,
have shot the fucking floor.
yeah. He would have shot the floor and the walls, and that's about all he would have hit.
But at least he asked for the gun. He
He
is
tried.
ready. He's trying, and I appreciate it.
Um, but yeah, so in their trip through the halls, Ash and AG find Ash's old gang who've come to save them.
Mm-hmm.
Ash gives AG to the gang guys, and he's like, "Get the fuck out! I'll meet up with you guys later.
Oh,
I
remember
have
to break
something
all the
to
fucking
take care
cars
of."
so they don't follow you.
Oh yeah, and break all the cars to yeah. Go down to the garage, take some cars, break the rest. I'll meet
Except
you
for
guys
the red
later.
one,
Except for the red one, the Maserati.
which is Ash's. Spoiler alert.
Hmm. And so Ash goes on a quest to. We don't know this at the time, but he's on a quest to find Shorter, or specifically the
No, we know
Doctor.
this at the time. He specifically does go back for Shorter's body. He has a talk with AG. Ash is like, let's just leave him. Once they get to the garage, Ash, changes his mind, says, "I'll go get Shorter."
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, he goes back for Shorter's body. Um, YL shows up in the not the hospital, but like the medical lab thing,
Yes.
and has like a little talk, a chat with the doctor for a little while.
With Arthur, who's
Yes,
Arthur?
the younger doctor,
Ginger Arthur.
G Ginger Doctor. Weil has a chat with him before he bails. Um, Ash breaks in, finds Ginger Doctor, says like, "Oh, you piece of shit, I hate you. What are you doing here?" Looks over, sees Shorter's dead body that they've like drilled into to get to his brain matter, because like they said, they want to see what the effects of VVitch are on dead people brains.
Well, just brains in
Uh,
general.
live people brains. They want to see what happens to your brain when they give you banana fish, so they cut open his head after he died to look at his brain. Um, the well, before I go further on,
You
the scene
maniacs! You blew it
just
up.
you blew it up. You god damn you all to hell! You blew it up. Just before YL shows up to like sort of interrogate Ginger Doctor, there's a scene where older brother Doctor it seems to be in scrubs and is like leaving the lab. So
Yeah, like is he in cahoots now? That's what I was
I
wondering.
I was wondering that too.
He
I
could
was
be under
very confused.
duress. Like that's entirely possible. I'm pretty
It,
sure
it,
he
it
doesn't
could
want to
be
die.
that they just threw him in there and they were like, "Help your brother." Um, but it looked kind of weird. It looked like the older brother Doctor was helping out now, which would be kind of weird, but would also make sense because there's a lot of episodes and we need somebody to continue to make banana fish. So older brother Doctor may be filling that role.
Yes, most likely.
Yes.
After what happens to Arthur here, or
Yeah,
other guy here in a second.
Ginger Doctor, because Ash is not thrilled about what has happened to Shorter. And so there is a murder, and the entire lab gets set on fire because he is giving Shorter a Viking funeral, apparently.
Yes. Before this, though, there is a scene where Shing is talking with, I believe it's one of his other buddies who like heard a rumor that Shorter is dead and that Ash
Oh,
may have
right,
killed him.
yeah.
This comes
With the
into
dead,
play.
the dead guys in the hall, yeah.
Yeah, this comes into play basically now, where now Shing confronts Ash, and I understand that Ash is angry at this moment and like does not want to like deal with any of anybody's bullshit.
Uh-huh.
I was so mad that she just didn't say, "Oh yeah, everyone else kind of killed him. I'm just burying my friend now." He
Well, I
just
mean, okay.
antagonizes him immediately.
It's true. So, yeah. Singh asks Ash because they heard from a dying guy in the hall in a few previous scenes.
Yeah.
That Ash was the one who killed Shorter, and the dying guy was very like effusive about it, and he was like, "Oh, you don't believe me? Go ask Ash. He'll probably tell you that he definitely killed him."
Yeah, which is yes, it's true. It's very true.
Yeah.
But like there's more to it, which I was really hoping that Ash would
Right.
say.
So when he shows up with Ash, when Singh shows up in the lab and sees Ash, he's like, "Did you kill Shorter like that dead guy said?" And Ash's response is, "Just leave me alone. I'm having a bad day." And he never really denies it, but he never really like says, "I definitely killed Shorter." Um, But I was reading some comments from some people about the episode, and somebody said essentially something that I kind of agree with as an explanation to why Ash didn't just say, like, no, I definitely didn't shoot my friend. Like, I would never do that, is because Ash genuinely blames himself for doing that. Like, Ash understands that he did kill Shorter. He had a choice. The gun was on the ground. He could have not shot the gun. He chose to shoot the gun. He chose to kill Shorter in that moment. So like Ash blames himself more than anybody else right now for the death of Shorter.
Okay, I agree with that.
So like that's why I don't. It would have been weird if he had been like, "Yes, I killed Shorter," but like I don't think he's in this like mental headspace to be like, "No, I was not involved in Shorter's death at all." Like it's complicated for Ash, and that's why I kind of understand him avoiding the question right now.
Hmm. My main problem with it was just that it was just incredibly obvious that this was going to happen, and I just
Yes.
didn't want it to. But oh well, it's a story element that happens quite often, so we'll see it more. We'll see it. We're always gonna see it no matter what.
Yeah.
So oh well. Hopefully, I like Xing. Hopefully they do tag team later on. But I think Xing's just gonna be with YL from now on.
From what it looks like, yeah. Because Ash and Sing have a little like lab, a burning down the lab fight really quick,
Yeah.
where Sing throws his kunai with chain, and Ash deflects with Scar butt of rifle, and then
You've
proceeds to
activated my
win the
trap
fight.
card.
You've activated my trap card.
Scrap Iron Scarecrow.
Large piece of metal to wrap your kunai around, defying the laws of physics.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Ash wins the fight and is like, "Leave, I don't want to kill you, but I'm really not happy with you right now." And Sing sort of does the classic, like, "This isn't over. I'll beat you next time," as he runs away with his tail between his
Yeah.
legs.
I'll get you next time, He-Man.
You're not that strong. Um, but yeah, so Sing sort of scankers off and gets not really abducted by YL, but sort of gets pulled into the fold of YL because Sing was part of Shorter's gang, who's a Chinese gang, and YL is like the one of the head members of the head Chinese gang, and so
Kind of not
Sing is
really. He's
now
like a shadow member, or like a shadow.
well, yeah, he's like a shadow head though. Like he is one of the main, like he's the brother of the main whatever six, I guess,
Yeah.
because he's the seventh brother.
But more
Um,
importantly, YL's able to do this because he basically says he'll blackmail. Well, he's blackmailing Xing, saying because Xing wasn't supposed to do this. It was against the orders of the Chinese mafia because they're in cahoots with Golzine.
yeah,
But Xing really wanted to save Shorter.
hmm
So YL says, I'll look past this if you help me out.
yeah, and he basically tells Sing like, even though we understand that Shorter was in charge, Shorter's dead, and now you're the one in charge, and you're gonna have to take like all the blame for this if this goes
Mhm.
down. Um, and so YL and Sing leave in a helicopter to go see YL's brother, one of them, I believe.
Yes.
Um,
Hopefully not the rapey one.
I don't think the rapey one. It sounds like
Actually, I think they're all pretty rapey.
they are all pretty rapey, but specifically, I think the one you're talking about is the head brother, the
Okay.
lead brother in charge. And from what the sound of it, with his weird like earring microphone system that he had going down at one point, it sounds like the brother that he's going to meet is not like the head brother in charge.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, so they leave in the helicopter. AG and Ash's gang get to the garage, break a whole bunch of cars, and
They're able to get out.
AG doesn't want to leave, but he decides to leave in the car with all the other gang members, and they take off. Along the way, Max and eBay, who are crawling through the underbrush next to the road, see AG in the car go by, and now they know AG's out with people in a car. That's about all Max and eBay know right now.
Yeah, they're kind of in the dark.
Yeah.
And the very last scene is, YL speaking with Xing and keeping tabs on the escaping Ash in his Maserati.
Yes. I will say for all of the like cool kick-ass combat scenes in this episode was not the prettiest looking episode
No,
by
actually,
far.
some of the like there's a scene where he's like running up the stairs. It didn't look that great.
There was a lot that looked really not great. when they broke in and saw when they first, I think he shot like a 40 millimeter grenade at the guys who raped Max's wife, and he like goes in afterwards, and they're like lying on the ground and they're covered in blood. You could very clearly see that there was the face layer and then there was the blood layer applied on top of it, and it looked so bizarre because you could see that they weren't like they weren't. It wasn't one image; it was two images layered on top of each other,
Oh,
and it didn't
okay.
look right.
So what it sounds like is just the lighting was off on the blood.
Yeah,
Okay,
it
I
was
didn't notice
so
that.
bizarre.
Okay,
Like there was a lot of things that didn't look right about this. Also, the sound effects were atrocious in my opinion.
I don't really remember them.
The I remember specifically the explosion sound effects sounded so goofy.
Okay, I'd have to go through and listen to it again, but I would just take your word for it. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean it only like it may have been like this the whole time, but I just really registered this because it was so many in a row as he was like throwing grenades and shooting the 40 millimeter grenades at people, and it was like the explosion sounds always sounded so wimpy. Like he'd throw a grenade in there and it'd be like, and
okay.
I'm
You
just
didn't have
like
that
that.
oomph.
Oh, like it didn't sound like an explosion happened. It kind of just sounded like somebody fired off like a bottle rocket. So I was kind
Okay.
of disappointed with a lot of the production value of this episode.
Yeah, I was more disappointed with the animation at least. But when they're just talking, it still looks fantastic. But yeah,
Yeah,
them in movement was definitely a drop in quality.
yeah. And I think the plot is still pretty good for the show overall.
Yeah, it's still great. Like stuff still it's happening, and it's happening fast, and it's happening
Yeah.
good.
And
I
like
have no
stuff
idea.
keeps happening in so many different ways that it's always hard to predict. It is difficult at times to predict like what the next major thing that's going to happen is going to be.
Yeah, like
Like knowing how all the people are going to interact with each other in the next episode is like I have no idea what the fuck's going to happen, and that's cool.
yeah,
I like it.
it's very well written, very fun. I'm still vastly enjoying it. I think quality wise, like overall quality wise, it's probably the best show we're watching right now.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
Oh,
except for Age's character,
you're still not a fan of AG?
not yet. He had a +1 this episode, and right now he's like a -2.
Okay.
So he's got to work himself up.
How much more would he have to do
Uh,
if he killed a guy next episode?
no, because like anyone can kill a person. Like if he did it because he didn't want to, like I don't want that. I will basically just want him to have some sort of agency. Now that he's out of basically the non-agency house where it wouldn't really make sense if he had agency.
Hmm.
I want him to start making decisions. One
Okay.
that he actually goes against Ash and does work out for them because he isn't a fucking idiot. I'm pretty sure he is a smart kid. And just kind of stuff like that. Like when he got trapped in the room, sure he couldn't really do much to get out of there. But I like that he actually tried by smashing the fucking chair on the fucking door.
Right.
I wanted him to see. I want to see him try some other stuff, like look for maybe a knife to like jolly the door open, or to defend himself with, stuff like that, just to show that he's actively trying to also protect himself. Because right now it just feels that Ash is the only one protecting him, and
Hmm.
that's about it. I don't want that from Ichi.
Okay.
He's like basically just a female character, like a really badly written female character right now, like very cliched, in my opinion. Like everything that's wrong with women characters is what he is right now.
I'm not going to say that's kind of the point, but I do think that's kind of the point of his character.
But like,
I mean, there are not subtle yaoi undertones
which
with
I'm
him and
completely okay
Ash.
with, but I just want him to be able to do stuff. Like, come on, man, just I believe in you. I believe in
Writ-
AG. I want
Written
to
in the
believe in AG.
1980s.
But wait, for a 1980s show, like they're very progressive at least. All the friends are like, yeah, this is okay. They don't really care. Like all his gangster friends are like, yeah, it's all right. Uh, we'll see what AJ does. Hopefully, he's still not just there.
We'll see. I
We'll
mean,
see.
I think it depends on if Ash shows up with to see his gang and find AG next episode, and if he just drags AG along with him again. Because I think if Ash doesn't immediately come, like, show up and be like, "Mine, this is mine, don't touch it," with AG, like,
I
I
think
could see AG kind of just being like the dutiful sidekick.
yeah, definitely. If like if Ash doesn't show up immediately and AG starts saying, "Here, let's hatch a plan. Let's do this stuff," that would really kind of elevate him as a character, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I could see him maybe organizing some sort of like, let's try and find eBay.
Yeah,
Like,
or something else.
he's
Yeah,
my friend. He's my other Japanese guy. I need him because Japanese guys, you know,
gotta stick
Ja-
together.
yeah, Japanese bros stick together.
Japanese bros before hoes.
Countrymen before foreigners.
I mean, they are the foreigners though.
Yeah, but eBay is his fellow countrymen
Moving on,
from the glorious island of Yappen.
man. There was this one coworker I had when I was an intern in Nebraska, where he, he he was a nice kid, but he was a bit of a weeb, like
Okay.
like a really big weeb.
Okay, so a bit of is a misnomer. He was a massive out of the closet weeb.
Yes.
Okay.
And I remember at some point we made the Japanese steel folded 1,000 times joke,
Okay.
and well, he didn't make it. Me and my other friend did,
Hmm.
and it kind of like got to him for some reason. He was like, he actually like tried to argue that it was
It got to him.
kind of got to him. He like tried to argue against the joke, but we were like, dude, it's just a joke.
So you would you say that he was Tiggered?
He was a little triggered,
Okay.
and we kept making the joke just to kind of toy with him, just to trigger him a little bit more.
Right, because you knew it was one of his like sensitive points, and you knew that you could.
Yeah, like it just got to him, and it's just one of the weirdest things that would get to someone. It was just like, yeah, it was the fucking Japanese steel folded 1,000 times joke. And
What exactly was his argument? Like that it is significantly stronger than other things?
yeah, it was just like that it just was good, and it's not okay to joke about it. I think, but we were like,
It's not okay to
it's
joke about.
not. He also like uh, also tried to make an argument, not an argument, but like he kept saying how much work ethic Japanese people had. That was like one thing he also brought up, and then we were just like, it's just a joke, guy.
Yeah.
But at least he was a nice kid. It's
Anytime you
one
can
of the
only
weirdest things.
describe somebody as, oh, he was a nice kid, I feel like it's one of those like if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. That's like all you could say is like, oh, he was a nice kid.
I mean, I have choice words to say about a lot of people, but I don't say them because I'm just an awful person.
Yeah, I think you have choice words to say about everybody because you don't like anybody.
Shut up. Um, there was also this one time, like towards the end of the internship, where we just kind of like to do a quick wrap up of like what we liked, I guess, liked and disliked, and if we had any questions. Mine was like 10 minutes, 10 seconds. I was like, I like this. I dislike not having anything to do because I was right on my phone the entire time.
That's
And then I was like, boom, I'm done. And this was
all you're gonna
like
get from me.
this was at like 4:30, so it was about time that I wanted to go the fuck home.
Right.
And then this guy starts talking, and I immediately knew I'm not gonna get home in the next hour. I should
Oh,
just get rid of that fucking dream. Halfway through, one of my roommates like was like looking at me, and after this, when we got home, he like said, "I saw in your face, dude. You're a serial killer, aren't you?" I'm like, "No, I'm not. No, I'm not,
they
sir."
know. They know,
Like
Brendan.
that was like one of the few moments where like the annoyance just could just be seen on my face. I like just wanted to slit this kid's throat. I was like, just shut up. I want to go home. It's a Friday. God damn it.
I like that it's not even most of the time it is the people that stand between you and going home that you want to hurt the most.
I was hungry. It was 5 o'clock.
It's
I
like
didn't do
anytime
anything
that
but
anytime there's a story in which somebody annoys Brandon, about 50% of the time, the story is I wanted to go home and this asshole stopped me from going home.
this is true. This is true. That's
Yeah,
all,
yeah,
that's
you
all I
can
have
just
to
end
say.
it there.
Also, I would just like the record to show that I did not actually want to slit the kid's throat. I just wanted him to shut up. That was for emphasis and for hyperbole. I am not a serial killer.
You are a
Nor,
serial killer,
no, I
Brandon.
am not.
Sociopath. I'm sorry. You're a sociopath.
I'm not that either.
You are a sociopath. You're not a serial killer yet, but you're a sociopath.
Actually, that's not actually the first time I've been called a serial killer. Back in fucking 12th grade, 11th grade,
Okay.
our Latin teacher Nick, we had to take the yearbook pictures, and like she was like going through them, and then she got to my picture, she closed the book, looked at me, and said, "Brandon, you look like a serial killer."
It's because you have no emotion in your
God
eyes.
damn it! I have plenty of emotion in my eyes.
That's not
They're
true.
usually it's usually anger and annoyance.
No. You have that dead fish look in a lot of pictures where it's like, this man is willing to hurt somebody.
I hate pictures. I just can't smile. I can't fake a smile.
You can't fake smile. Then think
Like,
of something funny and real smile.
but then it just feels doesn't feel real though. Like I just can't do it. It's bizarre.
I think you have a problem.
No, I don't.
You
Plenty
do.
of people can't like just smile on a whim.
Again, think of something funny and real smile.
That just sounds weird. That sounds stupid. That's a stupid idea, Nick. No one fucking does that.
Of course, that nobody does, Brendan. I'm lying to you. This is definitely not a technique that lots of people use to look better in pictures.
It's like fucking imagining people in their fucking underwear. It doesn't work. Oh no, he's hot. Shout out to Squilliam.
uh,
That was that's another work story I had. Oh my god.
what?
The,
Imagining people in their underwear?
no, the fucking getting annoyed at the kid who wouldn't shut the fuck up.
Oh.
Oh god.
Alright, so do we want to go over and do like first impressions on the next season of what's coming out in anime?
I don't think we have time. We have like an hour-ish. We've done this for an hour. We can probably like do a quick one.
I mean, yeah, just go over, not like watch any trailers or anything, but just quickly like what stands out to us.
All right.
We won't even like read any summaries. We're just gonna say like this sounds promising. Mostly, I just want an excuse to talk about Goblin Slayer, which I'm excited for, which is coming out next season.
Just to talk about Goblin Slayer.
It's gonna be great. Um, it's kind of
So,
weird because apparently it's gonna be on Crunchyroll, so people are like, is it going to be like as graphic as it is in the manga? Because I've read all of the chapters that have been released in English. So it's like 25 chapters, I
I
think,
mean,
25 or 26.
probably wasn't going to be as graphic anyway because it's not that it's not on Crunchyroll. It's that I'm pretty sure it's not like a Crunchyroll original, right? Like it's not produced by
No.
Crunchyroll. Yeah, it's produced to be on a TV show.
Yeah.
So like
Well,
Crunchyroll
because
doesn't really
well,
have.
yeah, but Crunchyroll also like when they're the main distributor of something, they always get like the more excessively censored version. Like they have whatchamacallit, the Isekai show that I'm watching this year, or this season, the How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. And they have a more censored version than the normal version that also exists. Like there's a normal version and a more censored version, and they only have the more censored version of it.
Okay.
So people are concerned that they're going to get a more censored version of Goblin Slayer than they could be getting if it was on a different site. Which, I mean, it's gruesome. I don't think it needs the like, you know, nitty gritty gruesomeness to be as good as it is. I think it's good independent of its gruesomeness, is what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
I'm excited for Goblin Slayer. I think it's going to be really good.
And for once, it's just a people who live in the world. No one gets sent to it.
Yeah, nobody
So,
gets sent
so
to
we
this
don't get
world.
a
They're
bitch
just
ass main character who's a fucking pussy motherfucker who always complains about everything.
Yeah, no. They all pretty much are, they know what they're there for.
Yep, to kill goblins and hopefully not get raped.
Well, only one of them is there to do that,
Oh,
actually. The rest of them show up and they're like, "We need you to do this other thing," and he's like, "Is there goblins? If not, do not care."
oh my god, he's my character.
It's great because they when they first show up, so the other three band of adventurer or the other so it starts off with the blonde-haired priest girls, like the first character you see, and then you meet Goblin Slayer probably within the first episode is what we're gonna have. Um, and then the other three come along a little bit later, and they show up and they bring this whole like world-ending, like, oh, stuff's gonna be awful. They're gonna summon a demon lord. All this horrible stuff is gonna happen. And they get to the end of it, and Goblin Slayer's like, "Are there goblins?" They're like, "No, probably not. There's just gonna be a whole bunch of high-level demons." He's like, "Okay, you can show yourself to the door. I don't do this shit. I do goblin shit. That's it. That's all I'm here for." It is wonderful. I love Goblin Slayer. He is such a fucking bro.
No, he's the opposite of a bro. If he was a bro, he'd help them out.
I mean, no, he is the classic bro. He is
Oh,
like
oh, okay.
he is the do shit for yourself Chad man. The the big swinging dick Chad where it's like I do what I want. I kill goblins. That's all I do. I do this shit every day. That's Goblin Slayer.
Okay.
It's also
Understandable.
great because he goes to buy like weapons and gear, and he always buys like the shittiest weapons and gear. And people are like, "This gear is shit. Who? What would you use this for?" And he's like, "Killing goblins. It's all I do." He reminds me of Major Payne. Killing is my business, and business is good. That's Goblin Slayer. That is his mentality about everything.
Okay. Um, I guess I'm excited for JoJo Part 5, which is Banana Fish but without all the sexual abuse. It's a gang war. Um, yeah, it's gonna be fucking awesome. I think it's gonna be so much fun. There's gonna be a bunch of trippy colors. There's gonna be something called the Sex Pistols in the show.
Something called the Sex Pistols. You mean the band called the Sex Pistols?
No, it's actually six bullets, and it is a power called the Sex Pistols.
Interesting.
Yep. And yeah, there's more powers like or there are more stands like Golden Experience, the main character's main ability, which lets him turn anything into a living object.
Huh.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a very cool power.
It's
Also,
better than R. Kelly's stand, which is called Golden Shower,
oh my god,
which allows you to pee on a 14-year-old woman.
and then not go to jail for it apparently.
No,
Oh,
believe it or not, shockingly, peeing on a 14-year-old woman apparently not actually a
oh god.
legal offense in the eyes of that court, wherever that was. Chicago, I think.
So Ohio? No, I'm an idiot. Illinois.
Yeah, Illinois.
I don't know why I thought Ohio. I think Cleveland.
Yeah, that is Ohio.
Yeah. We have Radiant, which I want it to be good. It's by Lerche, and they're doing currently Asobi Asobase, which I have been fucking loving. This past episode has been fucking hilarious. It continues to be hilarious.
I
So
saw I saw a clip of the ass slap bit
oh my god,
where her ass makes machine gun noises.
that was that was a scene.
That was I was shook when she slapped her ass and it was just it was like two M4s going off at the same time for a while.
And her screech too. Oh my god, her
That
voice
screech
actress.
sounded like it was gonna she was like I could not believe that that lady produced that screech and then proceeded to go on to produce that like teary, whiny, regular voice that she made. Like that screech was career ending.
Okay, all their voice actresses are so fucking good. The range on like all of them, especially that girl Hanako, her voice actress is so fucking good. And like this is like one of her first shows.
Wow,
Yeah,
okay.
she's really good.
She's really good.
She's got those high highs, she's got the low lows. She can pull off like a mean bitch as well. Holy crap. Like every once in a while, her character will like basically become a sociopath where she's like just trying to fuck over everyone.
Hmm.
And it works super well. Like she gets like this grudge face looking thing going on,
Uh-huh.
and they just play it really well.
Huh.
In this past episode, one of the girls might be a lesbian.
Might be a lesbian. Okay. Solid.
Yes, because another character, so they go to an old girls' school.
Okay.
Another character gives her a kiss after she saves her from this other, sort of shenanigans. You don't really have to worry about it.
Okay.
But after this kiss, she begins to have weird feelings for this other girl. So, that's where they're kind of teasing her kind of being a lesbian. But the other girl may not actually be a girl.
Oh.
Yeah, she might
All
have a
right then.
penis.
Solid.
So the next skit is her trying to figure out whether this chick has a penis. And it's called the cock conundrum.
Oh my goodness.
We still don't know whether she has a penis or not.
Oh, even by the end of that, they don't decide whether or not there's an elephant trunk down there or not.
They don't know. One of their ideas is to like put her on a little like I guess not a dolly, like a flatbed cart,
Hmm.
and kind of push her under the girl so that she can look under her skirt. And they're like, "Don't worry, this is gonna work." So they start bolting straight to this fucking girl in the hallway, not realizing that she could just step out of the way. So she steps.
They didn't even do it from behind, so you couldn't see him coming up.
Nope, they did it straight through her. She steps away, and they just fall the fuck over.
Solid.
There's a lot
It
of
is.
fucking great moments.
This show is fucking.
It's an experience.
It is, yeah. I was gonna say amazing, but I don't even know if I go that far and say it's amazing. It's, yeah, an experience is the best way from what I can
It
hear.
is amazing, like the animation. So the way they do the animation in this show is instead of like having a lot of backgrounds, they just focus on the characters, expressing themselves. So that's how they
Okay.
can kind of save some money. So the backgrounds are just very kind of plain and standard and subdued. So it
Okay.
doesn't really change that much. They also spend a lot of their time in like the same room, so
Okay.
that doesn't change very often. But
Right.
the character faces, it's very bizarre. They get very like wonky with the faces, which I really like. Fucking some of the faces that Hanako makes, like rivals GTO's fucked up faces. It gets crazy. But one of my favorite skits will forever be the shoe throwing contest, where it ends in one of the girls in a full body cast because she takes her bike, rolls down a fucking hill, and then when she tries to throw her shoe, she accidentally launches herself a fucking kilometer and then just eats shit for a good like 100 meters.
Oh my goodness.
It was this is like it's always sunny levels because like they have a clip show moment kind of skit towards the end where they're like flipping through like the book of one of his presidents, and it basically details like instances where things have happened in the school, and when she tries to figure out who was the cause of them. One of them
Uh-huh.
is finding a reason why their tennis team lost the championship, and that's because um, their main star was in a full body cast because she got in a competition with the Pastimers Club, which is the main girls from Asobi Asubase, and it just keeps detailing all the fucked up shit they did to everyone.
Wow. Okay. So
Yep.
they haven't just ruined their own lives, they've ruined other people's lives too.
Yep.
Solid.
Actually, another one is they set fire to a cafe.
Okay.
It's
Destruction of property. Noise.
Yep. There's a lot of shit that goes on. It's a fantastic show. I hope everyone gives it a shot. It isn't for everyone. I'll understand that. The jokes might not jive well with everyone, but give it a shot. There's at least something in there that you'll laugh at.
All
I guess
right.
to move on to
That's
the shows that will be up here next season, are we gonna watch the Emoto show?
I don't know. I think the real question is if Satsuriko no Tenshi is like weak for another, if Satsuriko no Tenshi going into next season is still like kind of weak, are we just gonna replace it?
No, we can still finish it up. Well, there's gonna be 3 episodes left.
It'll be like 3 or 4.
Yeah, finish it up. Why not? At this point,
All right.
like, I just want to see what happens. I just want to know.
Okay. I just wanted to know where you were on. Are we gonna finish it, or are we just gonna? And then I assume we're gonna watch Banana Fish through to the end.
Fuck yeah, we are. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I want to see how this ends.
I have no idea how this is gonna end.
I
It's
want
either gonna end with
Papagino's dick
everybody
in
dead.
his fucking mouth.
This is gonna end like the end of Punisher, where it's just gonna be Ash walking out in like the black bodysuit, like the black trench
Oh my
coat with
god.
the fucking skull written on his chest while the building burns down behind him.
I have a different idea. Ash is gonna die. AG becomes the Punisher.
AG becomes the Punisher. I'd be okay with that.
AG becomes like some hard ass and he's just like walking down the streets of New York with a fucking scar on one hand and the golden pistol in the other. He's like, I'm ready now. And then the credits roll. Banana Fish 2. AG,
Banana Fish
AG
2.
returns.
AG returns to Japan.
AG cleans up the streets of Japan.
He goes to fight the Yakuza.
What a fucking ending that would be.
That would be a hell of an ending.
That's anything else? I might give the Bunny Girl show a shot.
Yeah, maybe.
Don't worry. I'll watch it first, and then I'll tell you whether you should or not.
Yeah, it's either going to be amazing or it's going to be trash, I feel like. I feel like there's no reality that happens where that show is just okay.
So
That show is
trash
either going to
isn't
knock
like
it out of the park or it's going to be like it's just going to be slow and boring essentially.
okay. That's the type of trash you were thinking. Okay, yes.
Mm.
It's not gonna be trashy.
No, I don't think it's going to be
Not from what I
trashy. I
read
think it's either
from
going to be slow and boring and like nothing's going to happen episode after episode or it's going to be like knock it out of the park awesome.
Mm, I'm gonna guess
Because like just from
1090.
the sound of it, it so depends on the characters having like meaningful and like believable interactions with each other, which I feel like is always such a dangerous thing to have like your entire plot based around.
I feel like no. I feel like it like works and works. Well, it doesn't work often. It works. When it works, it works.
Right, when it works, but when it doesn't work, it's slow and boring.
Yes, character-driven show is what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what this would be. From what I read from the manga, reading it, I kind of liked it. I felt the two characters. I think they had some chemistry. I don't know
Okay.
if that'll translate to the anime. Hopefully it does. Because while the main character is a genetic piece of shit, he's at least kind of likable. Like,
Right.
he's not super generic in that he's like literally fucking useless. He actually just tries stuff and cares about stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of that also is like how the voice actors bring them to life. Like it's how the voice actors deliver a lot of the
Oh.
lines that
Mhm.
will affect how you look at the characters. Because he can deliver the lines and be like really involved in it, and like they can have like it can make it sound like they have like this great back and forth chemistry, or it could be like every time that the main like one of the male character delivers his lines, it's just delivered in like a monotone or like in a way that makes it feel like he just doesn't care that much anymore.
Well, you watch Haikyuu. Do you remember Tobio Kageyama?
Yeah.
That's his voice actor.
Okay. He was pretty good. I like Toby.
Let's see who else was there. Let's see if
It's hard to like really evaluate his voice actor because Toby was just like his only emotion was like annoyed.
He's Tenya as well. So I think he has from Tenya and I guess the other one that you mentioned,
Toby.
Toby. Yeah, he might work. Who knows? We'll have to see him. Oh, fucking he's Sakura from Tsurajuri Children.
Okay.
I feel
Didn't
like he
watch
could
it,
work.
but sure. Okay.
Let's look at the female lead. Let's see here. Oh, I think I mentioned this before. Ayake Kagari. Oh wait, you haven't watched Witchcraft Works,
No.
which I have not either. What have I watched that she has been in? Ooh, I have. I should. This is a good moment to actually put this on screen. Fuck. She was in Strike the Blood.
Who she in Strike the Blood?
Asagi. Aiba.
Oh. Okay.
She was key in Monster Musume. I think you've watched that.
I have.
She is Shizu from Overlord.
I stopped watching that. Not that I stopped watching that in like season 2. It was like not I've mentioned this before. It's just like not gripping to me anymore.
You didn't like the lizard sex?
I did not like the lizard sex. No matter, despite what I wanted, despite the fact that I said I wanted it so badly. I think I said this before. When we finally got there, I did not want it anymore.
No, I changed my mind. I was solely mistaken.
Illicit sex was not what I was hoping for. I think I was hoping for less actual sex and more of the implication of sex. We got actual sex, and I was not thrilled.
I watched that episode today.
Did you? You watched the illicit sex episode?
Oh no, the implication episode is It's Always Sunny.
Oh, okay.
See, it's not that we're gonna do anything bad. It's just the implication. The
We're
implication
going
of
to
what?
take them out on the boat. Oh my
His
god.
delivery of implication really makes him seem like a rapist. It's the
No, what makes him seem like a
implication.
rapist when he's like, these girls are going to sleep with me because they don't want anything to happen to them because they don't want anything because something could go wrong for them. So these girls are in danger, Matt. They are in danger, Dennis. No, they're
they
not
just
in
think
danger.
they are.
They just think they're in danger. It sounds like these girls don't want to sleep with you. They don't know what they want. They're confused.
They're confused on a boat.
What are you looking at, old lady? You certainly wouldn't be in any danger. So they are in danger. Oh, just shut up. So grab your stuff. We're getting out of here.
Chiha Fario, which is I think some sort of board game show. I heard that's very good, and she's the main actress in that, so she might have the chops as well. So who knows? I want it to be good. I don't know what we'll get.
I don't know. I would prefer if it was good, because I mean I always just like seeing things succeed. But we'll see. I think there is a lot to be. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. We'll have to see when it comes out. There's no way of knowing before it comes out. There's a chance it's great. There's a chance it's awful. I do not think there's a chance it's just okay, in my opinion.
There is 100% chance of Bunny Girl though. You do not have to worry about that.
There better be. If we're watching a show with Bunny Girl in it, there better be like multiple occurrences of Bunny Girl. If we get one in the first episode and that's it, that's all I get for the entire show, I will not be happy.
I don't remember.
Other than that, I think one of the only other like really big shows that's coming out, other than the Emoto show of the year, which whatever.
You mean month?
Season. Is the sumo show in Hinamaru Zumo, which a lot of people are excited for. A lot of people who read the manga are really excited for. So
This looks like one of those older school manga.
It does kind of, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But a lot of people are like really excited to see it getting adapted. So I'm hoping it's going to be like actually genuinely good.
Speaking of which, there's other kind of fighting show called Baki, or manga called Baki, and Netflix producing a movie wherein Baki fights the Predator.
Solid.
Let me see if I can find this amazing.
I will say from the picture they have on AniList of the Hinamaru Zumo show, it looks like it's going to be one of those classic sports shows where everybody's going to have like crazy powers and crazy moves because he's like, it looks like he's going for a takedown, but all of his hair is on fire. So it gives me classic life for like, this is going to have some wonky powers with some, 10-minute monologues in 5 seconds.
Okay.
That is a hell of a picture.
Yeah. They're going at it.
It's like AVP, except for it's PV.
PVB.
Yeah. PV Bruce Lee. Because that man. Jesus. It's like he's carved out of steel.
I'm pretty sure, like, in canon, he's, like, 15.
I feel like a child molester. I feel dirty.
I don't know if he gets older, because I think time does pass by, but I don't know how old he's in this picture. But yeah, he's like fucking chiseled. Jesus Christ.
I feel filthy now.
So hopefully next season doesn't look that bad. Hopefully this trend continues, but we all know it won't because, whenever there's a good season, you always got to follow it up with some garbage.
Yep, you got to follow it up with a weak one. It's how the world works.
We say that, but I'm enjoying this season.
I've been liking it.
Mm-hmm. Attack on Titan is still pretty cool. I hope everyone's watching it, but no one is.
I think at some point I need to go back and watch the rom-com show from spring that we didn't watch for book
Oh,
club.
Otaku?
Yeah, Wotaku.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Season 2 coming out.
Oh, okay.
I don't know when. They just announced it.
Oh, okay. I feel like I should go back and watch it though, because yeah, you've recommended it, and I don't know. I just need. I feel like I need a rom-com show to watch. We haven't had one in a little bit.
Yeah. I guess next season we may or may not have the Bunny Girl show. And even though I don't like to say it, the Moto show is a rom-com.
Yeah, it is a rom-com, but I feel like we're gonna be real. We're gonna be real careful. That may, if we decide to pick up the or try the Emoto show, that has a very large potential to be the first one we cut. I feel like, because I feel like if it's not very strong, we're gonna want to get rid of it.
Yes, but I want to get rid of it after the red-haired girl comes in. I'm really... I want to drive home the point that I'm only really in it for her.
You're only in it for the red hairs.
Yeah, basically.
Why the red-haired girl?
She looks like a bitch.
Oh, okay.
Like, do I need another
No,
reason?
that's enough. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's right up your alley.
exactly.
I just need to know for certain. Get it on recording every episode leading up to it. Why we may give it a try.
Because the red hair looks like an absolute piece of shit.
Because yeah, the red-haired girl may give Brandon life for that show.
It probably won't, honestly.
It probably will not,
Yep. Well,
but we'll give it a try maybe.
what would you like to sell out today, Nick?
Um, I just thought, oh, I'm going to sell out to the trombone section in high school marching bands everywhere, specifically those who are ballsy enough or stupid enough to do suicides, because
Oh, we watched that
um,
too?
yeah,
It
it
was
was it was cool. It was cool to watch like a really organized trombone suicide drill, and it was one of those things where when I was in middle school, I did band, and I played trumpet in the marching band, but I played sax in the jazz band, and so for the marching band duties, there was a lot more people, and so there weren't very many trombonists, but we had a handful of us in the trumpet section, and so us in the brass section always talked about like taking out a whole bunch of the trombones from the band, like from the band supply, and doing a suicide drill with them because all the brass guys are fucking idiots. But we always talked big, like we were going to do this at some point, but we never actually organized doing trombone suicides. And so watching somebody else have the balls to do suicides and do them really well was really cool. And so I'm going to give my sellout and shout out to any band section that does organized trombone suicides really well and really well organized as part of like a regular routine. Because that shit is not easy and very dangerous if you get out of sync.
yes. There we go. This was a post on Reddit earlier.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Include the link to
it
at
was-
least or some reference to, because
yeah,
it was a great
pretty
video.
cool. I would like to sell out to A24. The studio A24, I believe, is a studio that produced the VVitch.
Okay.
I love them very much for giving me a new horror movie to absolutely gush over. I will be forcing this upon my coworkers tomorrow. Probably none of them are going to have a good time watching it because it's hard. It's a very I found it gripping. It was absolutely awesome.
You're going to force this on your coworkers.
I don't think any of them are very good, like huge horror movie buffs, which kind of sucks.
Sounds like from what you've told me, your fucking coworkers are a bunch of pussy ass bitches.
How?
They can't handle spicy food and they don't like horror movies.
Well, yeah.
What's up? What fucking mayonnaise eating coworkers do you have?
I mean, the main guy I talk about movies with is Indian, so not very much mayo there.
True. Still though, like just in general, like things you've told me about your coworkers, it's like the fucking white people mayonnaise on sandwiches eating motherfuckers.
This is true. Like, yeah, because me and my Indian coworker, like, we were eating the food, the Thai food, and like we weren't really getting phased at all. Like, I could feel the spice. I don't consider myself like that like big of a spicy food eater. Mm-hmm. But some of my coworkers, like, they looked at they just weren't having fun. They were struggle busting, and I just couldn't understand it.
It's like the scene from Psych. Even the water is spicy.
Right? Like,
who does that?
Yeah, my coworkers like looked at us and we were like, we have no idea how you guys feel right now because we've never felt it. We only feel it if like it can burn our fingers, I guess.
Okay.
But I don't know. But yeah, I will be forcing them to watch the VVitch.
All right.
Great fucking movie. I love it so much. You should watch it too.
I may give it a try.
You as a eunuch, and then you as also you, the audience.
You are non-existent audience.
Shut up. Let me just believe in myself.
This is the joke that I always make at the end. Thank you for not joining us.
Yeah, thank you for not joining us. I was
I
Brandon.
have been Nick. We forgot to do introductions.
We did. Well, I was Brandon. Hopefully you know my voice by now. Well, you know
Our
what?
other bitch-ass friends are possibly not our bitch-ass friends anymore because they refuse to talk to us.
Jeffrey. Well, okay. Alex, you know, mom's birthday. What can you do?
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Alex Mom's birthday. We can't say anything about him.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Jeffrey. Who the fuck knows? I don't know. He hasn't said
Kid
anything to me.
is MIA from as far as we can tell.
He's in Indiana. I can only assume that he no longer has internet because they cut off the one cable feeding to Indiana.
Yeah, feeding to his entire town. There is one cable in and one cable out, and they all share it.
The communal internet
Yeah.
Wi-Fi access point.
They're slightly more technologically advanced than the Amish.
Oh well. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for not joining us, audience.
Yep.
We have been ABC.